Hello, loyal viewers and drama enthusiasts. It's your dedicated team from TV Days Drama Digest, the ultimate hub for all things days of our lives. We live for the twists, the tears, the triumphant returns, and those jaw-dropping revelations that keep Salem spinning on its axis. If you blinked and missed today's episode, perhaps you were caught in traffic, buried in work, or simply overwhelmed by the real-world chaos, we've got you covered. Buckle up, because we're diving deep into every heartbeat, every whispered confession, and every explosive confrontation from this unforgettable installment. We're not just recapping, we're immersing you in the raw emotion, the layered family dynamics, and the shadowy undercurrents that make Days the soap opera legend it is. By the end of this article, clocking in at over 3,000 words of pure, unfiltered drama, you'll feel like you were right there in the Horton Town Square, sipping champagne at the party while secrets unraveled round you. Today's episode was a masterclass in contrast, the blinding light of new beginnings, clashing against the encroaching shadows of Barry Pass. At the center of it all was a celebration that promised warmth and unity, but delivered a whirlwind of surprises, tensions, and life-altering disclosures. Let's break it down scene by scene, character by character, expanding on every nuance to paint a vivid, cinematic picture. Grab your tissues, your popcorn, and maybe a stiff drink Salem style, because this is going to be one hell of a ride. The grand welcome Trace party lights up Salem with family, gifts, and a bombshell return. The episode opened on a note of pure, unadulterated joy, rarity in Salem, where happiness is often a prelude to heartbreak. The DiMera mansion, that sprawling fortress of opulence and intrigue, had been transformed into a whimsical wonderland for the newest addition to Johnny and Channel's growing family, little Trey. Balloons in every shade of pastel floated like dreams toward the vaulted ceilings. Tables groaned under the weight of gourmet hors d'oeuvres curated by Channel's bakery expertise, and a towering cake topped with a fondant rattle and the words "Welcome home, Trey" stood as the centerpiece. Johnny, ever the proud papa, beamed as he cradled his son, his eyes misty with the kind of fatherly love that can melt even the iciest DiMera heart. Chanel, radiant in a flowing emerald dress that hugged her post-baby glow, flitted from guest to guest, her laughter a melody cutting through the hum of excited chatter. This wasn't just any party, it was a proper Salem welcome, complete with gifts piled high like tributes to a tiny king. There were plush toys from Aunt Allie, a silver rattle engraved with the DiMera crest from Grandpa Stefano's lingering influence via EJ, of course, and even a handmade quilt from Great-Grandma Kate, stitched with symbols of protection against the family's notorious curses. Trey, blissfully unaware of the drama swirling around him, gurgled contentedly in his bassinet, his tiny fists waving like he was already conducting the orchestra of chaos to come. But joy in Salem is never solitary. The guest list read like a who's who of the town's most entangled souls. Roman Brady manning the grill with his signature gruff charm, Kate Roberts sipping martinis while eyeing potential alliances, and Nicole Walkerno firmly in the DiMera orbit, cooing over the baby with a mix of genuine affection and calculated maternal longing. The air buzzed with toasts to new beginnings, Johnny declared, clinking glasses with Chanel. To family flawed, fierce, and forever, Chanel added, her voice thick with emotion. And then the door swung open with the dramatic flair only Days can deliver. Enter Sammy Brady, storming back into Salem like a hurricane in stilettos. The room fell into a hushed gasp. Sammy, the eternal wildfire, absent for far too long, her blonde hair cascading in perfect waves, her eyes sparkling with that trademark mischief. But she wasn't alone. Clinging to her arm was a stranger, tall, dark, impossibly handsome, with a chiseled jaw that screamed danger and eyes that held the cold glint of secrets. Everyone, meet my husband Dante, Sammy announced, her voice a sultry challenge to the stunned crowd. The revelation hit like a thunderclap. Sam married? To a man with a mafia background? Whispers erupted immediately. Danny's suit was tailor-made, his cufflinks flashing with understated wealth. But there was an edge to him, a subtle scar on his knuckle. The way he scanned the room like he was casing it for threats. Flashbacks peppered the scene, quick cuts to Sammy's whirlwind romance in Europe, stolen kisses in shadowy Italian villas, Dante whispering promises of protection amid gunfights and betrayals. He wasn't just any mobster, he was a brand new character, layered with mystery. Was he connected to the DiMera's old Sicilian ties? Or something darker, perhaps a rival syndicate eyeing Salem's power players? Johnny's jaw dropped, Channel's eyes widened in delight and disbelief. Married? To him, Johnny stammered, pulling Sammy into a bear hug that nearly crushed her. Gifts for Trey were momentarily forgotten as the family bombarded the couple with questions. Dante, cool as ice, accepted a cigar from EJ, who eyed him with suspicious intrigue and quipped, "In my line of work, family is everything." And now Trey's got an uncle who knows how to handle complications. The dramatic tension was palpable. Would Danny's mafia shadows eclipse the party's light? Or would he become Salem's next anti-hero? Reunions and ripples, Lonnie and Eli Grant storm back into the fold. No Salem party is complete without long-lost loved ones crashing the gates. And today delivered in spades. As the champagne flowed and Trey received his first official DiMera heirloom, a tiny signet ring, another set of doors burst open. Lonnie Price Grant and Eli Grant, the power couple who'd been off-screen chasing FBI leads and raising their twins, strode in like avenging angels of normalcy. Lonnie, fierce and flawless in a red power suit, scooped up Chanel in a sisterly embrace that spoke volumes of their shared history. Eli, ever the steady rock, clapped Johnny on the back with a grin that lit up the room. Uncle Eli reporting for diaper duty, he joked, but his eyes scanned the crowd. Always the detective. The Grant's return wasn't just cameo fluff, it injected fresh energy into the festivities. Hugs were exchanged with Abe Carver, Lonnie's father, looking dapper but distracted, in Paulina Price, who enveloped her stepdaughter in a cloud of perfume and pride. Eli bonded instantly with the menfolk over war stories while Lonnie cooed over Trey, declaring him the spitting image of his daddy with channels sparkle. Gifts from the Grants were thoughtful. A custom onesie emblazoned with future FBI agent Ellie's influence, and a children's book on empowerment, Lonnie's touch. But beneath the surface glee, tensions simmered. Lonnie, ever perceptive, pulled Abe aside amid the laughter. "Dad, you look like you're carrying the weight of the world." Spill, the party's backdrop faded into an intimate father-daughter bubble. The dramatic underscore swelling as Abe unloaded his burdens. Fractured family ties, Abe, Paulina, and the battle over Theo's future. Let's zoom in on this emotional powder keg, because it's where today's episode truly ignited. Abe Carver, Salem's moral compass and perpetual mayor-in-waiting, has been at odds with his wife Paulina over their son Theo. Theo, the autistic young man with a heart of gold and dreams bigger than Salem's skyline, has been yearning for independence. Paulina, in her bold, no-nonsense way, encouraged him to pursue a job at DiMera Enterprise as she'd done at Vipers run by EJ. "Theo's a grown man, Abe. Let him spread his wings," Paulina had argued in prior episodes, her voice echoing with the pain of her own controlled past. Abe, however, dug in his heels like a man possessed. "DiMera? Over my dead body," he thundered in flashbacks, his face a mask of paternal fear. The DiMeras represented everything toxic, manipulation, danger. The kind of legacy that had nearly destroyed his family before. Abe wanted Theo safe, perhaps in a stable role at the hospital or city hall. Paths paved with security, not scandal. Enter Lonnie, the mediator with a spine of steel. As the party swirled round them, guests laughing. Dante charming Kate with tales of business abroad. Lonnie cornered Abe in the mansion's library, a room heavy with leather-bound tomes and the ghosts of DiMera schemes. "Dad, I just got the full update from Paulina. You're fighting her on Theo's career choice?" Again, Lonnie's tone was gentle but firm, her eyes mirrors of Abe's own, pleading for understanding. Abe paced, his voice rising in a dramatic crescendo. "She's pushing him into the lion's den. DiMera Enterprises? That place chews up innocence and spits out monsters. I will let Theo become collateral damage in EJ's games." Tears welled in his eyes, a rare crack in the stoic facade. He recounted Theo's vulnerabilities, his past heartbreaks, the way the world had underestimated him before. Lonnie listened, then countered with the precision of a surgeon. "Dad, stop. Just stop and listen to yourself." Theo turned to Paulina for a reason. "She sees his strength, same strength you taught him. You're trying to make choices for him, wrapping him in bubble wrap while the world moves on." She placed a hand on his arm, her voice dropping to a whisper that carried the weight of shared history. "Remember when I was lost after David's death? You didn't control me, you guided me. Paulina's doing the same for Theo. She's encouraging him to think for himself, to claim his autonomy." The scene built to a fever pitch. Abe slammed a fist on the desk, books tumbling. "I'm protecting him," but Lonnie wouldn't relent. "No, Dad. You're being stubborn. Controlling." Theo, knowing Paulina trusting Harriet's pushing him to grow. "You're so focused on the danger, you're blind to his potential." Flashbacks intercut, Theo beaming as Paulina hyped his tech skills, contrasting with Abe's worried frowns. In a heart-wrenching moment, Lonnie's words pierced through. "You need to mend things with Paulina. Apologize. Let Theo find his own path. With my help or without, you will do both." Abe crumpled into a chair, defeated yet enlightened. I've been a fool," he admitted, voice breaking. The camera pulled back as Lonnie hugged him. The party's distant joy, a stark reminder of what was at stake. This wasn't just advice, it was a dramatic intervention, forcing Abe to confront his flaws and rebuild bridges. By episode's end, he'd approached Paulina with tentative olive branches, setting the stage for reconciliation. Theo's bold DiMera leap. Rafe's nervous breakdown. Kat's memory unleashes a torrent of dread. Shift gears to the investigative underbelly, where Commissioner Rafe Hernandez Salem's beleaguered law manifest a storm of his own. Amid the party's periphery, Rafe hovered like a shadow, his phone buzzing with ominous updates. His face, usually a mask of determined calm, twisted into nervous knots. What news could rattle the unflappable Rafe? Cut to a tense confrontation earlier in the day. Rafe, juggling baby shower duties, more on that later, ran into Kat Green, the enigmatic nurse with a penchant for complicating lives. Their encounter at the hospital straw halls echoing with beeps and whispers sparked a memory that exploded like a landmine. Bumping into Sammy fresh off her dramatic entrance, Kat froze. You were there, she murmured, eyes glazing over. Flashback, Italy, EJ in a coma, tube snaking across his lifeless form. Kat, unbeknownst to all, sat by his bedside, her voice soft as she read Wuthering Heights Heathcliff's brooding passion, mirroring her own hidden turmoil. I didn't know who he was, Kat confessed to Rafe later, her hands trembling. Just a patient. But seeing Sammy, it all flooded back. Rafe's nerves frayed visibly. Pacing his office, sweat beading on his brow, he muttered to himself, this is bad. Too close. Kat's recollection placed her at EJ's bedside during a vulnerable time, potentially witnessing secrets, alliances, or even crimes tied to the Demira Empire. Rafe worried aloud in a heated phone call, she's getting entangled with EJ again. What if this derails the investigation? The investigation loomed large, hints of ongoing probes into Demira dealings, perhaps linked to Danny's mafia ties or old abduction plots. Dramatic close-ups captured Rafe's inner turmoil, flashbacks to his own history with EJ, rivalries, betrayals intercut with Kat's innocent yet dangerous proximity. I can't let her pull me or you into this vortex, Rafe growled, slamming his fist. His nervousness wasn't just professional, it was personal. A fear that Kat's memories could resurrect ghosts and shatter fragile alliances. The tension peaked as Rafe confronted Kat at the party's edge. Stay away from EJ. For your sake and mine, her defiant gaze promised this was far from over. Marlena's emotional tsunami, baby showers, John's shadow, and a breaking point. Finally, the episode's emotional core, Dr. Marlena Evans, Salem's psychiatrist queen, navigating a deluge of feelings. The baby shower for Trey overlapped with the party. A dual celebration in the Demira Gardens, flowers blooming, laughter ringing. But for Marlena, it was a minefield. She smiled through toasts, her elegant black dress a stark contrast to the pastel frenzy. But cracks showed. Whispers of John Black's upcoming announcement teased in prior episodes. As a life-altering revelation, illness? Departure? Betrayal hung like a storm cloud. Marlena fielded questions with poise. John's fine. Just planning something big, but inside, turmoil raged. Flashbacks assaulted her, tender moments with John contrasted with recent arguments. The baby shower amplified her grief, reminders of lost children, complicated legacies. As Chanel opened gifts, Marlena excused herself, retreating to a quiet balcony. There, the dam broke. Sobs racked her frame, dramatic winds whipping her hair as she whispered, I can't do this alone. But she wasn't. Brady appeared, then Bella family rallying. Mom, let it out, Belle urged, tears streaming. The scene swelled with orchestral pathos, Marlena confessing fears about John. The weight of secrets, the joy of Trey clashing with personal pain. It's all too much, she gasped. In a cathartic release, emotions flowed, anger, love, fear culminating in a group embrace. You're not alone, Brady vowed. The episode faded on Marlena's resolved face, stronger yet scarred. Wrapping the drama, what's next in Salem's saga? View what a day. From Trey's gift-laden party and Sammy's mafia-married bombshell to Lonnie's family mediation, Rafe's investigative panic, and Marlena's breakdown. Today's days was a roller coaster of epic proportions. Danny's shadows loom, Theo's future hangs in balance, Kat's memories threaten chaos, and John's announcement beckons. Salem never sleeps, and neither do we at TV Days Drama Digest. If this recap left you breathless, subscribe for daily deep dives, theories, and exclusive insights. Miss the visual spectacle? Rewatch on Peacock and join the conversation. Until tomorrow, stay dramatic, Salemites. We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV Days Drama Digest for more updates on Days of Our Lives.